Over the last 50 years, the share of aggregate wealth held by the middle class hasn't just dropped. It's absolutely plummeted, going from over 60% down to barely a quarter. Welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving deep into what is honestly one of the most pressing questions of our time. All over the world, millions of hardworking, dedicated people are waking up to a really unsettling reality. You do the work, you put in the hours, and yet the ground beneath your feet just seems to be shrinking. Today, we're going to expose the invisible economic forces and those sneaky behavioral traps that are quietly erasing the middle class. I want you to answer this question honestly for yourself. Are you working harder than ever, but somehow still feeling poorer? Think about it. You go to work, pay your bills, try to save up when you can. You're doing everything society told you to do to secure a comfortable life, right? Yet, at the end of the month, you feel completely financially squeezed. Well, look, you're definitely not alone in feeling this way. It's a genuine, documented economic reality. The rules of the game have shifted dramatically under our feet, and the hard truth is, a lot of us are still playing by an old playbook.
Okay, let's dive right into this and look at the fading middle class.
To really understand why the middle class is disappearing right now, we have to look back at what it historically represented. It wasn't just some income bracket, It was a very specific promise of stability. Decades ago, being middle class meant you could afford a home on a single income. It meant owning a car, putting your kids through school, building up a robust savings account, and actually looking forward to a secure retirement. But today, that rock-solid foundation has basically been replaced by the quicksand of easy credit, skyrocketing housing costs, and cripplingly high debt. We've essentially traded actual ownership for perpetual monthly payments. So, let's move on to the modern cost of living. So what exactly changed? Well, to find the answer, we have to examine the systemic dragons in our economy that are just silently devouring wealth. When we look at data tracked by organizations like the OECD and the World Bank, it shows us exactly where the pressure is coming from. Your salary might increase by, say, 3 or 4% a year, and hey, you might feel like you're making progress. But if the cost of housing, food, and energy skyrockets by 8%, you are mathematically moving backward. You're actually becoming poorer despite seeing a higher number on your paycheck. And this brings us to a concept that's absolutely crucial to understand: inflation. We hear this word thrown around on the news all the time, but we really need to define it for what it truly is: the silent destruction of your purchasing power. I want you to think of it as a hidden tax that nobody ever voted on. It's literally an invisible flame burning through your wallet. It means the money you worked so incredibly hard to save today will inevitably buy you less tomorrow. If you don't aggressively protect your money from this invisible fire, your wealth just vanishes.
Now let's look at income versus true wealth.
Because frankly, we can't just blame external economic pressures. If we want to truly grasp why the middle class is disappearing, we have to pivot. We have to look at the internal behavioral traps we all fall into. We've got to separate the concept of income from the concept of true wealth. I really want you to sit with this rhetorical question for a second. Are you middle class, or do you just look like it? Modern consumerism has sold us a massive illusion, hasn't it? We've been conditioned to believe that looking rich is the exact same thing as being rich. So we end up buying things we don't need with money we don't even have just to impress people we don't really know. Consider the stark contrast between two very real types of households out there. The first one has a high income but absolutely zero wealth. This person drives a financed luxury car, has a massive mortgage they struggle to pay every month, and is just drowning in bills. They look wealthy, sure, but they are incredibly fragile. Basically, they're one missed paycheck away from total disaster. Now, compare that to a household with an average income but high wealth. They live a modest lifestyle, drive a paid-off, reliable car, hold zero bad debt, and they steadily invest. They might not look flashy, but they own assets. They own their time. They possess true freedom. That fragile, high-earning household is a classic victim of what we call lifestyle inflation. This is a highly dangerous trap where every single time your income increases, your spending increases right along with it. You get a raise, you buy a better car. You get a bonus, you magically find a reason to upgrade your house. Families can dramatically increase their income over the years, yet fail to accumulate a single dime of actual wealth because their consumption just constantly rises to match their paychecks. They're trading their true wealth for appearances and trading their future freedom for present-day debt. Which brings us to an interesting pivot: ancient wisdom for modern wealth. While our modern economy definitely presents new challenges, human behavior, it really hasn't changed at all. To find grounding solutions, we don't need some complex new economic theory. we can turn entirely to timeless, ancient wisdom that survived for millennia. Take this observation from King Solomon, who's widely considered one of the wealthiest figures in human history. He said, "In the house of the wise are stores of choice food and oil, but a foolish man devours all he has." Thousands of years ago, the rule was exactly the same. Those who consume everything they earn, those who devour all they have, will simply never build wealth. Accumulation must always precede consumption.
And consider this timeless warning regarding debt. The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender. This cuts right through the modern trap of easy credit we talked about earlier. When you finance a lifestyle you haven't actually earned yet, credit cards and loans create a really beautiful illusion of wealth. But beneath the surface, they are steadily stripping away your actual financial freedom. You are quite literally pledging your future labor to a bank. Finally, there's this verse. Dishonest money dwindles away, but whoever gathers money little by little makes it grow. So the crucial takeaway here is that steady, disciplined planning always wins out over time. It's not about getting rich quick, and it's not even about having an exploding income. It's about the quiet, consistent gathering of resources. The habits that build a solid financial fortress have remained identical across all of human history.
So let's bring it all together and talk about protecting your family's future. Because understanding the traps of the modern economy and the wisdom of the past, well, that's only half the battle, right? How do we actually apply this to protect our own families from falling out of the middle class? As we've seen, the middle class disappears when people trade planning for consumption. To reverse this trend in your own life, you have to adopt the habits of truly prosperous families. These are the families that prioritize income-producing assets over depreciating appearances. They radically reject the normalization of easy credit, they strictly follow the rule to accumulate capital before consuming luxuries, and they always plan for the long term. They're playing a multi-generational game, not just trying to survive month to month.
This kind of mindset builds a concrete path from financial fragility to lasting generational freedom. And it really boils down to 3 absolute steps. Step 1, accumulate before consuming. You have to pay your future self first by investing a portion of everything you earn. Step 2, eliminate bad debt. Attack consumer debt with everything you have so you can stop being a slave to the lender. And step 3, protect your wealth and your family through assets that actually outpace inflation.
I want to leave you with this final powerful reminder. Wealth is not what you show. Wealth is what you own. The middle class doesn't vanish overnight, you know? It fades away slowly, paycheck by paycheck, every single time we choose the illusion of prosperity over the reality of ownership. You are the ultimate protector of your family's future, and honestly, nobody else is coming to build your fortress for you. So I'll leave you with this question to carry with you. Are you spending your life building an empire for your family's tomorrow, or are you just paying for the illusion of one today?